I'll save you the trouble of the super long introductory song. But hey, everybody, we are back. I have Josh here today to talk about Elden Ring. Now, I didn't realize you were a big fan of the Souls games. Maybe you told me before, but somehow this escaped me.
Yeah, I've been a pretty big fan of the Souls games ever since around Dark Souls 2, I think, was
Okay.
when I first
Really?
kind of started
Wow.
in. Yeah. It's I don't know, it's a really good game series. I like the kind of dark fantasy, and then I don't know, any game that allows you to kind of discover a lot as you're going through the game is pretty fun.
Okay. Yeah. That's totally what drew me into these games too. So wow, Dark Souls 2. Wow, you would probably get along with Chase pretty good then because he was a big fan of Dark Souls 2. So how would you kind of rank them? Have you gone back and played Dark Souls 1?
I do come back to Dark Souls 1 every now and again. I think I've only finished the game no, just the one time.
Really?
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Have you
So
have you ever played Demon Souls?
I have not gotten a chance to, since
Okay.
it's a PlayStation exclusive, right?
It is. It
Something like
is. So
that. Okay.
this is interesting because we have that party coming up this summer for my birthday. We got the cabin over in Wisconsin. Demon Souls is one of the games I was going to try to get Alex to play. So that would
Oh,
actually be
nice.
good and very fitting to have you there and play a little Demon Souls. I have it for PS3 and PS5. So I don't know, maybe we could do something there, but interesting. Okay, so you've played Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, and you've played 3, right?
I have not played 3,
Really?
actually.
Okay.
So I've kind of spoiled a little bit of 3 for myself just because I want to know what the lore is about. Um, but yeah, I was playing through them sequentially, and then Elden Ring came out, so that's kind of what happened.
Okay. All right. Wow. Okay. Wow. You had so what do you think about Dark Souls 2? Do you like it? What are your thoughts on Dark Souls 2? That's kind of like your baby then, right? That got you into the game?
I started with Dark Souls 1,
Okay.
but it was around the time Dark Souls 2 came out.
Okay.
Um, I I like Dark Souls 2 quite a bit. I'm trying to remember now. They changed some of the mechanics that threw me a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
but there is something interesting. The characters are seem a bit more lighthearted in Dark Souls 2, or something like that.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
feels a little different.
There's something about that game. I've never really been able to put my finger on it either. There's something off about it. That's the first one I platinumed, but for me, that's got to be my least favorite of all of the games. There's something about the gameplay. Like I felt like a lot of the enemies in that game were just like another knight or another humanoid enemy. You know, I like the
Hmm.
really creepy, disgusting. You know, then Dark Souls 3 comes along and you have all that crazy boss designs. Oh, you're in for a treat when you finally get to Dark Souls 3.
Yeah,
Let me
well,
tell
like
you what, you're in
that
for a treat.
first boss in Dark Souls 3, right, is kind
Yeah.
of a really, for some people, I heard it was a pretty big slap in the face. Just like, yeah, no, this is, you're gonna
Oh,
have to deal
yeah.
with this now.
Yeah, it is a massive skill check so early out of the game. But then once you get past that, it's fine. And like Alex was saying, you can cheese it too. Like you could start with the fire bombs and just kind of nuke him when he starts to transform. But that's
I
interesting.
gotcha.
Okay. So now we're here. We're playing Elden Ring. And we were talking about this just before the show started. But I think we both had a similar experience of starting to play the game and we shortly fell off right after. So what is drawing you back to the game now?
Well, for me, first off, the DLC trailers for Elden Ring really
Yeah,
got me going.
yeah.
I wanted to dive in and get Moog taken out as soon as possible to so I'd have the option. Um, but I don't know, I think where I fell off originally was that I explored a huge area and then more huge areas kept cropping up
Yeah.
as we went through the game. I was like, how many more? Um, so I kind of fell off, but maybe it was because of Tears of the Kingdom coming out. I just got my legs back and don't feel like the exploring is too hard or too much anymore.
Yeah. This was a tough game for me because I was trying to maybe nudge Alex into trying it. And he was like, "Yeah, I just don't have a lot of time." And I'm like, "Yeah, but you could do it." And I still think he could, but to see everything in this game, it is crazy. And I'm starting to realize that the more I've been playing, we've been back in Elden Ring for about 4 weeks now, trying to get ready for the DLC. And every like you finish one area and then you go to another area, and just like you're saying, it just keeps going. But
Hmm.
I don't know that they really intend you to play the game that way. Like to get into what's the capital city, Lindell.
Yeah.
So to get in there, you need to kill two of the shard bearers. There's like five available before then, so there's a lot of options, but you don't have to do them all. They're just presenting you with different paths to take, which I guess it's not really new to a Dark Souls game, but it for me, I felt so torn when I initially played the game because all the other games they just taught you like do everything. You go to every zone, beat every boss, and then this game it's like okay, they're going to reuse bosses many times throughout the whole game, so you don't really need to kill them all because how many times are you going to fight the same boss? And at a certain point, you out level the crap out of it, and it's not even worth it anymore. So, like on in that sense, somebody like Alex could play Elden Ring, but you just have to know like you're gonna kind of mainline it and you're gonna miss a lot of the stuff along the edges. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
think for me, I've never done too well with like skippable things. I always want to go back and get. Uh,
yeah.
I used to be a huge like one of those people that would collect 100% trophies for their games
Oh
and
yeah.
stuff. So for me, that's kind of what bugs me out of Elden Ring to begin with was just like wanting to complete the whole thing, but there is so much.
Yeah. That so I'm going back into it with an additional goal of getting ready for the DLC, but also trying to get the platinum. And I will say this as a, somebody who may be interested in achievements. It's very achievable in this game. They're not like the past Souls games where in other games they're like, okay, upgrade one of every weapon to plus 10 within the specific stone upgrade path, or collect every weapon in the game, or beat every, they're ridiculous. Get into every covenant, get every ring, pick up every item. They're nuts. But in Elden
Hmm.
Ring, they've trimmed it back so much where they're like, collect 7 legendary weapons, collect 7 legendary incantations and sorceries. You don't even need all the sorceries. That took so long. And I remember like with Dark Souls 3 doing like an entire playthrough just collecting sorceries and then going through again and playing on an easy difficulty to get all the weapons and trading in the boss souls. You don't really have to even do that with Elden Ring. So that's kind of nice, but
That is pretty nice. I have to keep reminding me myself of that too, because I've been going through trying to clean up some of those quest lines and like realizing that maybe I don't need to push all of these quest lines to completion. If I
yeah,
miss a
like
couple, it's probably okay.
so I was looking at it and I'm a big spreadsheet guy when I go for these platinums, and I went and there's really only 3 difficult platinums. You have the one for the legendary talismans, one for the sorceries and incantations, one for the ashen remains. So I've been able to check most of those off. And I've really only had to do 2 storylines so far. I did, oh, what was her name? Millicent, or she's
Oh
over in,
yeah.
Caelid, where you go and you get her arm and you give her the needle and you go to, I think Godfrey is his name. So I did her quest line. I'm doing that now. And then I did Ronnie's quest line. You have to do Ronnie's to get the Age of Star ending. but
Mhm.
which apparently, I don't know if you knew this, there's like 8 different endings to Elden Ring.
I am aware of some of the endings. I think there are some obscure ones that I'm sure I haven't heard of, but
Like, that
that's
almost
crazy.
bothers me because I wanna see all like, I've always done all the endings, and for the platinum, you only need 3, and I'm like, "Ah, well, I don't know if I need to earn it, you know, I have to go through and accomplish these tasks and see the, different endings, but that's a lot. I don't know if I could play this game that many times. It's taken a lot of hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think in future new games. So I've always wanted to do New Game Plus, New Game Plus Plus, but
yeah,
I think if I do that, it's going to be kind of more of a beeline to Lindell
yeah, oh,
in
yeah,
the
for
future
sure.
playthroughs.
Like, in playthrough number 1, before you finish it, get as much as you can, and then, yeah, when you do New Game Plus, it's not that bad, like, you've already kinda learned the mechanics, so the enemies hit a little harder, you have a little bit more damage coming at you, but it's not terrible. I guess I've never actually gotten to New Game Plus with Elden Ring because I quit before I beat the game last time, but all the other games have not been that bad, so,
I gotcha.
yeah. So I guess that kinda brings me to my next question for you is, what are your thoughts on the DLC not being accessible for new players? Because I would say it's definitely not. Like, you have to beat Radan, you have to go beat Moog, you have to progress very far into the story. Like, I just hit level 99 when I beat Moog, and then, I posted a video showing, "Oh, this is how I got through Moogwood Palace and, how I defeated Moog," just to try and see if I could farm any kind of meaningful amount of views. And one guy commented, he's like, "Wow, I'm kind of impressed you did this only at level 99." Like, what level are you supposed to be, you know? Like, I've been
Not very
playing a lot.
encouraging for me.
Yeah. I What level are you at now?
62.
Okay, yeah. So, let me know when you get to Moog if you have trouble. Oh, so you're on PC, that's the only problem. I do have a PC character. I'll look and see what level he's at. Maybe I could have
Okay.
you summon me and I'll help you, but I was 99 and I felt like he went down pretty easily, but man, does he hit hard. I've been putting a lot of my points into like strength and offensive uh, attributes, so my health is
Mhm.
not that high. So when he would hit me, I would totally get dropped. But I would say this is not accessible at all for new players. Like, they totally
I
buried this.
Yeah, if well, especially if Moke hits like a truck like that too. Like those I feel like those bosses can tend to be some of the more tricky ones in some of the Souls games where it's like it's not about surviving, it's just trying not to get hit that last time.
Right, right. Because he has this first phase, which is not that bad. He casts some spells, whatever. If you do an Ash of War, it's manageable. But then he transforms and starts doing this blood rain all over the arena and fly like he gets wings and he'll fly at you and it's nuts. And you basically just have to like the best advice I can give you is just nuke him down while he's transforming and then hope for the
Okay.
best because it's totally nuts.
I mean, if they're going to give you that transformation sequence, you might as well make use
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah. And it's not like when you're fighting Godric and he sticks his arm into the dragon's head and you can't hit him. Like, he's transforming and you can just wail on him. So yeah, by all means,
Nice.
you have to. There's no other way because I've done it before where he's been transforming and he will gain health as he's damaging you. So you have to like totally eat him. Otherwise he'll heal up to like half health or whatever. And then there's no way. I
Ouch.
had to give him a few tries there, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
don't
I don't
know.
know.
Doesn't sound super accessible to new players, but I don't know if Souls games have taught me anything. They really want to make you work for it in the first place. So it's
Yeah, for sure,
kind of
for
on
sure.
brand for them.
Yeah,
But
totally.
I don't know. I think it gives existing players something to work for if they didn't progress down that direction in the game too. So
Yeah, for sure. It almost kind of like I was thinking about it. I was disappointed because at first I thought, they have this alternate leveling path. So I'm like, well, that maybe that's a cool way for new players to come in, play it, and then check out the DLC, and then they'll explore the rest of the world. But the way they're doing it, they're kind of like, no, we made something cool here. This is another carrot on the stick to go explore and check out our game. So, you know, they're betting on themselves. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Um, so how far are you at now? Have you defeated Radon?
not quite yet. I kind of, as I understand it, Radon isn't like super huge as far as progressing anybody's quest lines. But I
Hmm.
figured it was a good time to go back and check in. And I realized that I had skipped a lot of dialogue with a lot of
Oh yeah.
characters. So circling back through Liurnia, and then I'm going to make my way over to Caelid and
Okay.
keep that rolling. But
I
I got
think
to Redmane and then kind of dipped out.
yeah, because that's before the Radon festival started, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. For me, I think I was doing Ronnie's quest line, and somewhere in there, it activates his festival. So then after that happened, I went and killed him. But
Okay.
I don't know. I think they're saying you need Moog and Radon, but then you access the DLC in Moog's arena, and it doesn't seem like they're really even connected. Have you been to Moog ever before, or this will be your first time going to his palace?
This would be my first time going to his palace, but
So,
I've seen it, but
okay,
yeah.
you access it through like the snowy area up to the north. There's like a invader that you have to kill, and it'll unlock a teleporter to get you down into his domain. So I don't even
Okay.
know how Radon is connected to that,
Hmm.
but I'm pretty sure, like, I was hearing you had to kill both of them. So I don't know if there's something else with the stars moving after you beat Radon and time moving forward. I don't know.
I mean, I guess. Yeah, that's interesting because I don't really know how they're linking the DLC to the main game, but it is interesting that you have to basically free the stars in order to access the DLC.
Yeah, there is some, I think, timey wimey stuff. Do you know what's going on with the DLC? Have you looked at any videos or spoiled it for yourself?
Um, I mean, I've watched some videos from some streamers that have played it. They're mostly just commenting on, the gaming experience.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not really sure. There was at least one streamer I was following that kind of thought it might be almost like a pocket dimension in
Okay.
the rest of Elden Ring, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm curious to see because this is all about millennia, right?
I think so. Me.
So I think she was gonna like marry Moog, or they were gonna have like some kind of dynasty together. That's why she's in his boss room, like that. You've seen the big egg with the pubic bone and then the arm hanging out of it. So like that's her
Yeah.
arm. So he did something to her, and she is supposed to be like pure, and she is the daughter, or like there was the two sisters. What are their names? Millennia. I think Millennia is the rot one, isn't she?
Yes,
Let me
Millennia is
see
the
here.
rot one.
So then what's her Merrick? No, not America. That's
Is it Mikola?
Mikla. Yeah, Mikla.
Okay.
So she's
Or
supposed to
Mikella.
be like the young one that never ages, and she's in that cocoon. She's something's wrong with her. So I don't know how that ties into the DLC. Like, are we just gonna see her memories and everything that led up to where she is now? But I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, cause like I think one of the another streamer that I followed was like thinking we've seen what happened when Ronnie, like her physical body like passed away.
Yeah.
basically. And so they were theorizing that Mikola uh, could still be around, just that their body's gone.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's
I
true.
don't know.
I like the universe they've created here. This is really kind of cool. I like how they play around with things and they use similar themes from other games, but they bring them back in new different ways. So
Hmm.
it's good. I don't know. I am very interested in what they're going to be doing here. So, do you have any thoughts on the DLC before we leave?
I'm just really excited for it, to be honest. Like getting to see can't remember his name, but the major boss kind of um, throughout the trailer and all that was
Oh,
was pretty cool.
the Impaler.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
just can't
was
remember
looking
their
at that
name.
DLC and I'm like, I cannot do this. I cannot buy this DLC to get this statue. I can't do it, but I wanted to so bad. I got the Diablo 4 DLC, the collector's edition, and I got a big candle and I look at it and they're cool, but I'm like, I don't know. It's a big ask to say like, okay, $250 and we're going to give you a statue of a character you don't even know yet.
True.
You
Yeah.
know, like I don't know. I probably would have bit if it was somebody already from the game. Like I don't know who they could have really, because I'm none of the characters in Elden Ring really stand out to me that much. It's not like Dark Souls where it's like you have these classic known characters.
Yeah. Like your Lord Gwyn's and
Like I guess
characters like that.
Millennia would be the one that's like super popular from Elden Ring,
Hmm.
especially when she turns into that big rot flower thing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess Godfrey would be cool or Godric, but I don't know. So
Godric would be a pretty massive statue, I
yeah,
feel like.
yeah, that would be pretty
So many
sick.
arms.
Yeah, I just like their disgusting grafted stuff that they have going
Uh,
on. But
yeah, it's like
yeah,
ever since Bloodborne, there's got to be some body horror involved
oh
in
yeah, oh
Souls
yeah,
games.
oh yeah. I still remember to like back to Dark Souls 1 when it's like you're going down into the sewers and you see that little head start to
Oh yeah.
slither up. Like, oh, what's that? And then you start seeing all the teeth. You're like, oh my god, what
Yep.
kind of monstrosity is this? But
That boss scared the crap out of me, but I think it's the first one that I beat no
yeah,
issues, like first try.
yeah, that boss was
I
so
thought was kind
easy.
of funny.
Yeah. And dude, that's another thing with Elden Ring. Like the more I'm playing, like it's not hard. Maybe you come up to a couple little skill gaps here and there where a boss might be kind of hard. But if you just turn around and look in the other direction and explore any of the other hundreds of things in the world, you could level up so easy. It's not difficult at all. Um,
Yeah.
have you
I,
experienced that?
yeah, definitely. And I think I was looking at this or thinking about this the other day when I saw I went back to the first site of Grace and saw the tree sentinel still
Yeah.
standing out there. And I was like, yeah, they try to teach you that right away. They're like,
Yeah.
yeah, there might be an obstacle in your way, but you can just run away for a little while.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember coming up to him and I was so trained on the past Souls games where it's like, no, you got to beat every boss in your path. And I eventually beat him, but yeah, it's totally not necessary. You can just leave. And that's what I did with this character. I waited till later and I came back and beat him.
Yep.
That's actually way easier to do that too. So that's the one nice thing about Elden Ring. It kind of flips it on its head a little bit, and like you may know these games, but there are other ways to play them. So now explore this world. You know?
Yeah. I think that's something this game has done really well too, is like certain there were definitely places that you would go farm in other Souls games. And in this one it's just like just go keep adventuring and you'll
Yeah,
you'll get the farming done.
yeah, yeah, totally. And then when you run up to a little roadblock, like a little pro tip for any newbies looking to get into the DLC here, all you have to do, like if your weapon's low, just like go farm some stones, and then you can get the little bell bearings that you can sell to the trader back at the Round Table Inn, and you're good.
Yep.
It doesn't take that long. You get a bunch of souls while you're doing it. Anytime you need some kind of upgrade material, just look it up. Go on like Extra Life or whatever. Find out where you need to go and just collect all this stuff, and it will be so much easier. Collect all the maps, upgrade your flasks. It's the game is like begging for you to make it easier. So,
Yeah. And if anybody's like me, don't forget to activate your great runes.
oh yeah,
They
yes,
can
yes,
be very helpful.
yeah, oh
I
yeah,
I
totally.
I had my great rune and just did not know how to activate it for the longest time. Just kept playing through, not even using it.
Yeah, I went so long in my initial playthrough without ever using a Great Rune, without ever using an Ash of War, and then it took me forever to unlock that flask where you can create the different buffs.
Yeah, I had to look that one up.
Yeah, yeah, that is also very useful. It can give you like heal half your health, heal over time. It can give you defensive buffs. There's so many different things you could do, and you unlock new ones by defeating those tree sentinels you see all around the map. So that's the part about this game I really like, because once you start seeing it, you really just see it. You're like, oh, that got it. I know exactly what the reward is for that. Totally got it. Um,
Yeah, like these certain classes of enemies or certain factions within the realms, you can kind of figure out what you can kind of size them up ahead of time and yeah, know what you're looking
yeah.
for. But
Like I was talking with Chase about this, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't like it because I feel like you do something and you kill all these enemies and you get no reward. Like you clear out a whole camp and there's nothing at the end of it, and it's like, or the reward is very lackluster, and it's like, well, you didn't have to do that. They're there. You can fight them if you want. There's something to be obtained by beating them, but they didn't say you have to do it. It's just something they put into the world. And once you start seeing that too, it's like, okay, I've cleared a camp before. I can maybe just run in there, grab something, run out. Like you don't have to defeat every obstacle in your path. It's not that type of game. So once you start
yeah,
realizing that, it's a lot easier. So
I felt bad too going back to Liurnia. First off, killing the enemies so easily, and kind of,
oh yeah.
but then watching some of the undead aristocrats just turn and like cower away from me after I've killed a few of them. I'm like, oh, they really are telling you to just like
Yeah.
move on after a certain point.
Yeah. Yeah. And then like later in the game when you're going through Lindell, and all the little undead guys are just kind of sitting there like slouched over. They're depressed. They're like, we can't stop these guys. Are you kidding me? Why would we even try to fight back against these people? They're crazy. You could kill them if you want, but I don't know. I just thought that was cool. Like they don't even care. They're depressed. The NPCs
Yeah,
are depressed.
just chilling, trying to make it through whatever the heck's going on here. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, Josh. I just wanted to get you on the channel here, talk about some Elden Ring. I'm pumped for this DLC. I think what we'll probably do is because I have my niece and nephew visiting over the next week. So that's going to be kind of a bummer for Elden Ring. But I'll probably do a stream Friday night on the 21st. And maybe we could do another one after. We'll see how it goes. We got to see how much playtime we get in. But yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I will see you later. Goodbye. This video is brought to you by your support on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/grouchygus94 to help support the channel.